Welcome back to the Inspiration Station and your Everyday Edge podcast. I'm your host, Mr. U. If you guys are watching and listening for the very first time, thanks again for making us part of your week. We're really excited about this show. Of course, when you guys are used to me monologuing, talking to the people through this network, making a little bit of a change here. So Inspiration Station now is going to be interviewing people who have compelling stories. We spotlight those stories of victory, breakthrough, and transformation. It'll take you from ordinary to extraordinary. If you're an author, a writer, content creator, a blogger, or speaker, whatever you're doing, entrepreneur, this show is about activation. It is about ignition. This is where this show and the stories you hear are going to spark action. Our next guest, a good buddy of mine, he is a content creator extraordinaire. The man is a very skilled graphic artist. He's also an entrepreneur, a lot of businesses under his belt, and he wants to come on and share a compelling story with you guys. He has experience in his life. So we're going to bring in Javier Malave.
What's up, Mr. U? Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, man. Hanging in there, man. We're doing, through the grace of God, we're doing good.
That's really good, man. Before we get into the content and the compelling story you want to share today, kind of give us a brief background of your childhood. What was young Javi like? How'd you get from there to where you are today? Go ahead, brother, jump in.
All right. Well, that's a whole 5 or 6 episodes, to be honest. But I was born and raised in New York, Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg, New York. Still a New Yorker, still here. Will never leave my city. We lived in Williamsburg before it became gentrified. It's no longer what it was back then. It was all pretty much a Hispanic and Hasidic neighborhood. I did the gang thing. I did the gang life. Even though I have 2 amazing parents that raised me well, streets still called me. Did my stuff in the streets. Didn't graduate high school. Dropped out at my sophomore year, but took my GED, and right after took my GED, went to college. I actually went to college more than I did high school. I hated high school. We were the first high school in New York to have metal detectors. That's how bad it was. So it'll tell you that much. Right. See? And then we moved around a lot. We lived in pretty much a lot of places in Brooklyn. I've been married now to my wife Daisy for 34 years. And if I get it wrong, honey, don't kill me. We have
on top of that. Get that right, brother.
I'm telling you, man, I always forget it. I'm horrible. And we have 2 wonderful children. One lives with us, my son Sam, and my daughter Michelle, who is in Indiana. And I have a sister, and that's about it. I mean, it's been an interesting road. It's an interesting road from where I was to where I am.
I definitely want to get into it, man. Definitely want to get into
it. And being a hardhead, alcoholic, and drug addict, and I did all the things that people would assume you do back in the 80s and 90s. I can't even remember half the 80s now. But so by the grace of God, I'm sitting here talking to you. That's about the biggest.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, brother. You're here because your story has the power to spark something in other people. This conversation is about helping somebody go from stuck to getting started, man. Walking through that journey like you have, your breakthroughs, and will push you to act. So I want to definitely get into some of that stuff, man. Poppy, check it out. Now, one of the things I want people to know about is kind of what got you into what you're doing professionally now. I think it's inspirational. I believe you do too, but I want to kind of have you share it with the listeners because I know that I'm from New York as well, so I get everything you're talking about. I can relate. I very well. I remember the 80s very well, but it's always New York has always been a hotbed for creativity. It's always been a place where kind of like the mindset that the sky's the limit. I know people who live there may see it differently now. They may feel like they're being kept under or oppressed in ways. But for me growing up, I always saw it as the hotbed of creativity, a way of self-expression, to be able to do things, whether it be art, media, entertainment, literary work. It was always available to me from my experience, from my background growing up. I love to hear what kind of sparked you to go the route you're going professionally when it comes to content creation, graphic art, entrepreneurship. What do you think was a key factor in getting you into that place, man?
Well, to start with, I have been podcasting now, and I'm actually call myself now a content creator. After all this
Okay.
time, I really did call myself that. But um, it started about 5 years ago. I went through a very big health scare. I am a survivor of Guillain-Barré syndrome. It is a neurological disease. Uh, I am partially invalid on my legs down. I have no sensation. I'm neuropathic. So when I got out of the hospital, I was very, very in a dark place with God and everything else. And I decided to create a podcast called The Intellectual Sasquatch. And that was to prove God wrong, to prove that God didn't exist. I did the
Wow.
whole thing. I was trying to deconstruct God fully. I was so angry and so mad. And God said, okay, go ahead, try. And in order to deconstruct something, you got to know how it's constructed, correct? So by
Correct.
reading the Bible, reading other things, all of a sudden God started reconstructing me instead of deconstructing me. And I decided to move the podcast into more of a faith-based podcast.
Okay.
And and I am a lover of anything pop culture. I am a comic book head. I am an anime fan. Anything that has to do with cartoon, anything like that, I enjoy. I enjoy movies. I enjoy literature, books. So I created a podcast called the Faithful Geek Podcast originally.
The
Podcast was
Faithful Geek. Okay.
the Faithful Geek Podcast. Yeah, it was to talk to people in that space that don't know God, or that you can find God in all of those things, not to be afraid to enjoy them, because God is in all that. God gave us that imagination, that creativity. So it's all there. And it from there, it moved on to where it took a little while. It took some traction, and I decided to write books and
Hmm.
about my life and about writing devotionals, because I think people are necessary to have something in their hands or something to motivate them during the day or during the time. So I've written those, which I thought I would never write a book. First thing I want to tell everybody that's listening, no matter how old you are, you can do this. That's a
I
big
love it.
thing, because I started this in my late 50s, which
Wow.
wasn't done 20 years ago. It wasn't done 10 years ago. I was 54 years old when I decided to do all of this stuff. And but it was something that God put in me to say, let's try it. I'm
Mm.
one of those guys that I hate the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I never like I don't like that. If you try and you fail, but you tried, right? You one way or another, you're going to succeed. If God wants you where you are, you're going to succeed. But you can't succeed if you don't try, if you don't put in the work, if you don't step up to it. And I came to the reality of that when I decided to really push the podcast, really push the literature. And then AI came around.
Hmm.
When AI came around, fully embraced it, because I have a very artistic mind. I'm always creating something, but I don't have the skill set to technically draw. I don't have the skill set to make music, but I have music in my head. So AI has been a conduit for me to create what I do. It's helped me generate income. It's helped me generate a business. We are now a Compass Collective. We are now 3 podcasts, actually going on the fourth. We just started a new one. It's called
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, it was called The Pew on the Couch, and it's about mental health and faith,
Oh
on
yeah. I
combining
saw
those
that. I
two.
saw that. Okay. I'm excited, brother.
So
That's a
yeah,
great title.
it's a book I wrote about right after I got sick. I wrote that book because I was going through a lot of stuff, and therapy helped me out a lot. And I still go there. I'm not ashamed to say I still go to therapy. It's necessary for me. But I wanted to get that stigma away from people in the faith. It's not wrong to go get help. If God puts someone in front of you that can help you, why not? Not all pastors have that skill set. Not all not all
True.
people you interact have the skill set to deal with someone that may be dealing with an emotional crisis. My emotional crisis could be anything. It could be mental. It could be physical. They may not have that skill set. So I wanted to direct people that they may find ways not to be afraid of that. And so
Got it.
that's the next podcast. Um, and we have 3. We have the Compass Chronicles, which what is an iteration of the the Faithful Geek podcast. It became the Compass Chronicles when Mickey Woolery, my co-host, he came on and we decided to do this show together, and we were talking about comics and all that stuff, and we did, and I was seeing where some of the guests were going and where the talks were coming through, and um, two other were born from that. Uh, then it was Sips and Scripts, which is my author page. That's where I talk to authors, writers, anybody in the literature world. And then we have the Multi Guild verse uh, uh, podcast. That's where all my nerds and all my people who want to talk about um, pop culture and all that. So we have those three. I also have the Sasquatch Syndicate Studios, which is my baby. I love that. That's where I create all music. We create all the images. Everything we do is through there. It's been, like I was telling you before, it's become real now because I am now a real business. I have everything is coming together, and it's scary, but it's also fulfilling because you realize all that hard work is now coming to fruition, and then
Yeah.
you're seeing all that sweat and struggle and nights, and you know this nights that you can't figure out what you're gonna do next, or if you recorded something and it's like, oh, it's garbage. People don't understand what's behind all this. You know, they think it's just we come in front of a screen and say, "Hey,
It's
how are
not.
you?" No, there's a lot of people behind us, a lot of things that are working, and so yeah, it's been an amazing and scary experience. But it's been a blessing because I've met so many amazing entrepreneurs, so many amazing people. Uh, you, Rory, all the people in the men's roundtable. Which I will blow that up because I think that's a very necessary thing for men now. Um, just to mention that we do have a Wednesdays we read from the men's devotional, which
Okay.
is Forged by Faith. Forged by Faith. I wrote that about 2 years ago, and I read from it every Wednesday for men, so men can get motivated during the week. Because most devotionals tend towards women. Not nothing wrong with that, but men aren't ones for too much devotional part. So I wanted to put something out there that will make them want to, you know,
We need it
think
too.
and read and study the word and become men of God. So that's
Copy
the
that.
ultimate goal, is to become men of God. So yeah.
Copy. I
Um,
love it.
mhm.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you created a lot of different things. The Grace and Grind Ministry, we've heard about that a little bit as well. What would you say, Javi, is just a specific spark moment, if you will, that kind of had you stop waiting and decide to just jump in while you're still trying to figure things out and start creating? What was the spark moment for you in doing that, do you think?
What was the spark? Well, I'm going to be very honest with you. It was my life, my mental health.
Your mental
Um,
health. Explain.
yeah, I was to a point where I am not ashamed. I tried to say goodbye in the permanent way,
Fair.
and I don't want to say it because we're on YouTube and stuff, and I don't want to
Copy that. I
have
understand.
anything there. But and I was in a very, very, very dark place, and being creative and having the podcast was my way of releasing a lot of that and releasing a lot of anger and a lot of situations. So that's become my therapy a lot. So that's what pushed me to say, let me create this, let me do this. By and also by just seeing my imagination come to life made me more motivated to say, yeah, I can do this. Also the people I've met have sparked me. My family, my wife has been a big supporter. She's
I
pushed
love
me to days where I don't want to do it. She goes, go do it.
it.
My children, my family, they've all been supportive. But I think it was that dark time where I was committed for a while in a place. Um, and I think during that time when I got out of there is when I said, you know what, I have to focus on something, because that's one of the treatments they tell you, to focus on something positive instead of trying to always,
Oh, okay.
So I was focusing on the podcast, just writing scripts, learning more, and that's where it motivated to keep going. And I saw something roll into something else, into something else, into
Yeah.
something else, and before you know how it is, it snowballs, and before you know it, you got so much stuff, and you're like, So yeah, I have to say it was my lifesaver. It was my dark place in life that made me decide to push on.
No, I'm with you, man. 2020 was the same thing for me, man. I was in a
Yeah.
place in the headspace that I never saw
Mm-hmm.
myself in before. It
Amen.
was new to
That's
me
crazy.
and it was scary.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasting, almost in some ways like radio, it was life changing for me.
Mm.
I was like,
Yeah.
I found. I guess I can say I found my voice through
Amen.
podcasting. I love for you should
Mm-hmm.
have we got time for a couple more questions, but I want to ask you this topic. When you look
Yeah.
back at the moment when you felt stuck, worn down, unsure of your direction and everything, what do you think was the one realization that kind of kept you from just surviving to actively stepping into life, stepping into purpose, stepping into calling? What was the one realization for you?
My faith in Christ, knowing that everything I'm doing is pointing to Him.
Okay.
It's pointing to His salvation, His truth. I think I'm here for that purpose, and I think the the stuff we're using to spread His love and stuff is necessary now. The world is so big
Okay.
and everything is so fast. So that's my biggest motivation to keep doing this. Uh, and that's what sparked me because I saw that
I love that, man.
there was fruits. There was fruits in the labor. There was fruits coming. I see people coming to God, talking about, even if they don't, become, they talk about it. They think about it. And that's my whole goal in everything I do. I just want to spark that little, whoa, what is he saying? What are you talking about? Let me look into it. Let me find out. So that's my whole goal for everything I do. I just want somebody to just look into themselves for just a second and
I got this. I
think.
got it. I got it. I want to ask you two more questions. I'm gonna let you get out of here,
Mhm.
brother. So my next to last question is this: when you look at all the shows that you're doing right now, and the amazing you gave me the privilege of being on one of your shows. I'm really excited about meeting you and Mickey in that regard. So it was really a fantastic opportunity for us.
Right.
How would you describe in a sentence what you're trying to accomplish through all? Because all the shows are different. I can relate to this. I have 4 shows and they're all different. They're not the same at all.
Mhm.
They're all very different.
Mhm.
One, in a sentence, how would you describe your goal or mission for all 4 of these shows? What's the one thing you want to
I
accomplish?
can. It's very easy. Your voice matters. Period. I want to talk to everyone. Your voice matters. If you have an idea, you have a thought, you have a feeling, and you want to talk about it, and you think you can get. Let's talk about comic books, and if that's what you are, let's talk about that. You want to talk about the Word of God? Come on, let's talk about it. You want to talk about politics? Come on, let's talk about it. My whole thing is the world has been. There's no more civil discourse. There is no more conversation. There's no more getting back and forth talking, and that's what I try to tell people. Your voice matters. Period. No matter if you think, oh, I don't see. Somebody out there is going to hear you, and it's going to
Love it.
resonate with them. So,
Love it.
yeah.
So here's my final question for you. First off, thanks again for being a part of
No,
Inspiration
thank you
Station.
for.
Coming
Thank you,
in
man.
here
This has been cool.
and sharing kind of your inspiration and your compelling story and how you got to where you are. I'm praying it sparks action in the lives of those that are watching and listening. That's what this show is all about. So thanks for
Yep.
supporting this by being here
Of
and
course.
all you do behind the scenes to support our show. Thank you, sir.
Of
Last
course.
question. At the end of that, I'd love for you to take 2 minutes to kind of share what's on your heart. Maybe perhaps let folks know where they can find your work, where they can find you. Maybe perhaps be a guest on your show. Do that after
Hmm.
this question. But for the person that's
Sure.
listening right now, Javi, who may feel called, but they haven't made that move yet, they haven't been sparked into action yet.
Hmm.
What does obedience in motion look like for you the first time you say, you know what, I'm doing this, even though I'm scared, I'm gonna do it anyway? What do you say to the person who's listening or watching right now that's in that same spot? What do you say to them?
Take the first step. Just move forward. One little step. Write something down. Write a little note. Write. Talk into your phone. Do what. Take that first step of something you want to do. But the first step is the scariest step. That's the one that everyone's like, I don't want to take that yet. I'm not ready. Take it. If you
Yeah.
trip, you trip. But you get back up and you move forward. Because we're all gonna fall. We're all gonna trip. Not everything we do is perfect. But just take that one chance, that one little opportunity that's in your heart. Go do it. And if it doesn't work, then you look for something else that you think you can do. But if you don't, like I told you, I hate those shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I'm not that type of person now. So that's
Yeah.
go ahead, and you're never too old. Go do it, man. Let's take a step.
Yeah, life can be at your fast, man. So
yeah, for sure. Really fast.
Because you know what tomorrow's going to bring, man. But thank you for sharing everything you shared, man.
Amen. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Thanks for being here. Let folks know where they can find your work, man, and how they can find you. Go ahead.
We have two websites now. We have the compasscollective.nyc. You can find all the resources there for all the devotionals, or you can find the podcast. You can sign up to be a guest on the podcast. You can listen to the podcast. A little bit about myself is on there as well. And then we just launched yesterday, Sasquatch Syndicate Studios. That is our music website. That's where you can find all types of faith-based music, from heavy metal to R&B. It's there. If you like it, it's there. You can look at it, listen to it. It's there to bless you. So those two. But and if you want to email me, you can email me at jm at Sasquatch Syndicate Studios.nyc, or you can reach me at Grace and Grind NYC at gmail.com. You can all find me there. I'm anytime to be at anyone's show, but those are where you can find me. And I'm on Facebook. I'm on every social platform you can find.
All right, we're going to drop all those links in the show notes, so we'll grab those things before the show goes out for sure. But thanks again for being a part of this, man. And you get some love always from Ireland, brother. So thanks for sharing Javier. Very inspiring story. Much love from Ireland.
Wow. Brother. Thank you, man.
You're international, fam.
Yeah, man, I'm international, bro. The things are happening. Things are happening.
I love it, man. I love it. For all you guys that are watching, listening, thanks again for making us part of your week. We're all about the compelling stories, and we believe this show is stories that spark action. Thank you for being an example of that, Javier. It's been a fantastic entrepreneurship content creation journey with you, man. You're a big part of our Men's Roundtable Series podcast. You're a big part of this show now, and I believe much more to come, man. So thank you again for sharing your life and experience here, man. It's been a blessing.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. For all you guys that are watching, listening, we're going to be live on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. Of course, our audio platforms will have this show hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so because, of scheduling. But thanks again. If you want to support us financially, the links are in the show notes. You can buy me a coffee or jump on our Patreon. Thanks for your help there. Production costs don't change. They just go up sometimes. So thank you for your help in doing that and for supporting us. I'm Mr. U. That's Javier Malave, founder of the Compass Chronicles Podcast, and so much more. Thanks again for the inspiration. Stay inspired. Stories spark action. Thanks for watching and listening.